I'm, oh, I'm on. I didn't even realize that. What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Sanchez 405 coming at you on the warpath. And just like the title says, the Redskins split the week going up against the Packers on a Sunday night turnaround, and a short week lost in Dallas on Thanksgiving. So kind of choked on the turkey, kind of choked on grandma's stuffing, ham, whatever you want to call it. But in these 2 weeks, yes, it was a 1-1 record, but there's a lot of good to look at in these two losses. Not in two losses, but this split. Um, the guy going to focus on the game against Green Bay. Looked at times the defense, which was the issue in the Dallas game. The defense looked suspect at times. Yes, it was Aaron Rodgers on Sunday night national television. Um, you still have to learn how to stop these guys. You got to give them opportunities, and sometimes, especially in that first half, it looked like the defense was trying to give the opportunities away. But for the most part, they stuck in there, especially Kirk Cousins. And by now, if this man does not deserve to get paid, I don't care what the price is. If you have to overpay him or not, this man deserves every penny of what he's earned. Talent lacking, whatever thereof, because he's done it without Deshaun Jackson. He's done it without Jordan Reed for the most part, and the man keeps on performing out there, throwing into the wind, throwing home run balls out the park into the wind at FedEx Field, where that bowl shape is going to have a swirling wind down there, and that kind of just how that can affect kickers, no alone quarterbacks. And I was thoroughly impressed with him on that game. Like I said, the defense, they came up with that big fumble that seemed to seal the game up there against tight end Cook, who was just owning us, putting a over his knee and just smacking us on the butt like we were 6 years old and we just stole some cookies there. But for the most part, look, that was a good win, good quality win by the Skins. The defense stepped up, forced a turnover, and that's what this team needs to do going forward against Arizona, against Philadelphia. This defense needs to get at least one or two turnovers a ball game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that's what caused it against Dallas. That's why going into that Dallas game, couldn't get a stop. We got a couple, and when we did, the offense kind of bogged down, but we could not get the turnover. We could not flip that field. Um, I'll be honest with you. The turnaround was terrible for this game, and I'm not making excuses, but you play a Sunday night game on national television only to turn around and have, we'll say you put in not even three, 2.5 good days of work, because the guys are going to come in here, probably partying until 1 a.m. After winning the game or doing whatever they do, even if it was a loss against Green Bay. And then you're going to go out there, travel to a different time zone, a division rival, national televised ball game. That's just not going to happen. And while the cards were stacked against us, it was it was rough. And guys, just seeing here, I'm just looking at the chat now. What's up, Joe B. Milton? What's up, my man? What's up, Jordan? Yeah, Josh Norman got exposed. Um, but Des Bryant, a key to a wide receiver, to be a great wide receiver, in my opinion, you can rack up all these little yardage and everything. But if you're not getting in the end zone, it really doesn't matter. For sometimes, and some of these catches that he made was against Kendall Fuller. Why Kendall Fuller was on Des Bryant at times, I don't understand. That's what I'm saying. It's exactly what I'm saying. That's not exposed. Kendall Fuller had a lot to do with that yardage that we saw. And Des Bryant needs to shut his mouth and go back to beating his mom up for all I care. This guy, he's a bona fide scrub. He was good a few years ago, but I still think he's a scrub. And speaking of bona fide scrubs, the man who's picked the Green Bay Packers to beat us also picked us to beat the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas on Thanksgiving. Stephen A. Smith. Just let y'all, I'll leave that out there for you. He said something in that game. He said, when your message gets stale, and his message gets stale, and the dude's going to have a heart attack the way he gets all blasphemous. I don't even watch him that more anymore. What's up, guys? But looking at it from the standpoint of, moving forward, this was a game we should have had opportunities to present itself, and we can blame it on the short week, playing into the sun in the second quarter. I don't know why Jay Gruden sent Dustin Hopkins out there to kick that field goal just for him to slice it. And that's nothing on Dustin. I think Dustin's has had a raw deal a lot this year, missing a couple of field goals. Sometimes it's been high snaps, and then sometimes it's been him. That Sun had a lot to do with Air flipping the field in the second quarter. But you got to stop Zeke Elliott. Going back to it on the defense, this guy, he came to play. Dak Prescott came to play. And if you look at their yards, weren't that impressive, but he had under 200 yards passing. Prescott did, and Zeke was under 100 yards, but he made stuff happen. And point of contact, you touch the guy, you take him down. Trent Murphy, everybody on this defense missed tackles on Thursday. I don't know if it was a product of the short week, but you cannot miss tackles. You can't do it against Arizona. You can't do it against Philadelphia. That's how it has to be. And then on the flip side, when you get in the red zone, it shouldn't be the dead zone. It should not be. We're not watching Dragon Ball Z. We don't need Garlic Jr. coming up in here having a big old hole sucking out our production. The red zone. We're the Redskins for a reason. Go in the red zone, boys. That's what we got to do. We can't settle for field goals. Can't settle for stupid mistakes. And something they need to work on as well is these 2-point conversions. I'm sick and tired of seeing us go down there. I don't know what the play call sheet is. Whose call it is, whether it's Callahan, Sean McVay, Jay Gruden, Matt Cavanaugh, whoever it is, they need to work on this. There needs to be a segment about an hour where they work on this. And like B. Milton just said here, let's run the slant through Jordan Reed. Hell, we ran against him against Dallas about 3 times and it didn't work to any amount, but so we might as well just try it. I don't get and they're not effective. They really aren't. I feel like Kirk could have pulled it down and ran it through, and I think that was one of his weak spots. And granted, this man hasn't had too many weak spots whatsoever in that respect. Paris Holland, he said, go, sit Fuller, go with Dunbar, Craven on spy on Dak Moore. And yeah, I was right about the Sun. Like, thanks. And yeah, Dak, they are playing within a system. When you have a rookie quarterback, I've got Cowboy fans telling me that this team could go all the way. This team will not go all the way because of experience, prior playoff experience from other teams. The Giants may actually knock them off again come here in a couple of weeks. Dallas has beat up on okay teams, and we proved that we look like an okay team. I'm not excluding us from that. And I just feel like we got to put this together. Got to put it. Moving Breland to the slot and let Greg Toller take Breland's spot. Yeah, where has Greg Toller been at? What, did he forget to get his braids done and he hasn't been playing? I haven't heard his name too much. And I think Craven, I agree with that too. He's got to go to safety. I mean, I know we want to see him there in the linebacker, but it's kind of like a rover position. He could really be in a rover position. You have a true safety up top, and he can be that little linebacker safety hybrid. But I think he services more. The more he's on the field, the better he has opportunity to impact the game. And he's shown that when he's in the game, he impacts the game. And we do not need Dante Whitner on there. This guy is, oh my gosh, he's not the Dante Whitner of the 49er days, of even those couple of times in Cleveland. Well, he really didn't do anything. That's where people go to die. Cleveland. Josh McCown, he's going there to die. They might as well have Hugh Jackson, after he gets fired this year, might as well go ahead and open up a funeral home service, because he can run that for Jimmy Haslam, because this team is awful. But neither there nor said. But we got a big task coming up. These last 5 games, huge, great quarterbacks in almost every one of these games. Besides Chicago, I'll put Carson Wentz up there as that. Carson Palmer, um, Eli Manning, um, Cam Newton, not in that particular order, but we got to beat these guys. We can't sit here on our Lord. This is must win. If you want to get to, I'm not saying the P word just yet, so I'm going to call it the party. If we want to get to the party, we better cash in our invites. We better hang out with the cool kids and school them. Because how you going to get to Tammy's little 16th birthday party? You got to put it in to win. That's exactly what you got to do. We cannot sit here and rest on those laurels. And this is a great task. I think this will be a high-scoring game. Arizona's looking to get back after they were in Atlanta and got embarrassed. We got to stop it. Got to stop them there. I'm reading these comments as I go through here. Yeah, we got to stop David Johnson coming up against Arizona. I'll touch more on that on Warpath Wednesday. It'll be a true Warpath Wednesday because I'll just be covering the Arizona Cardinals. And stop the run. You got to stop that because, my God, we bleed more on the run than, I'm not going to say, but you know that time of month when we don't talk to the ladies. That's how much we be doing that. Not to be vulgar. And Dante Hittner went to Dante Whipner. That's exactly what he did. This dude, I don't know what happened to him. I really don't. He can't tackle. All he does is impact tackle. So he basically, an impact tackle is stop the guy. But you get 2 yards off of that. The offense gets 2 yards off. Looked off against Green Bay, and they got to stop those third downs as well. That is big money down. You got, when you get in the money zone and the money down, money. We got to stop them. Got to stop them in the red zone. Stop them on third down, and we got to cash in on third down. Fraction Jackson came alive in this game against Dallas. He's a Cowboy killer. I wasn't too much of a fan of him backtracking, trying to taunt the defense when we were down a couple of scores. I didn't see the point in that. That's one of the reasons why I don't think he should be a part of this team going forward next year. But his speed was there. But is he worth the headache? That's what they'll have to decide. I think Pierre Garçon, he did good in that Green Bay game as well, too. Jameson Crowder, these guys all pinned it together. And I think the team, offensively, the team is set offensive-wise. We don't need to do anything to that. Run that ball a little bit more. I think we had opportunities against Dallas where we neglected the run. Neglected that run. We got to get them. We got to get Fat Rob, or if you want to bring Mac Brown in, CB Milton. I dropped your boy Mac Brown up in there. We got to get these guys. Maybe bring him on. I don't think we'll see Matt Jones. Probably we won't see Matt Jones again, barring any injury to Fat Rob. But this is a two-system team. What we haven't seen in a while. Chris Thompson at third down back, but we might be service if we call Pierre Thomas up and see what he could bring to the team. He was helpful on that run last year. Maybe he can help out again this year. But it's just sitting here today. We're going to have to start scoreboard watching. And we've got to start watching. We got to hope the Packers. We're rooting for the Packers tonight. Thursday night, we're rooting for the Vikings. Then we're rooting for the Skins and whoever Green Bay's play. The Giants are playing against on Sunday. That's who we're rooting for because we've kind of screwed the pooch now. And I'm not saying that it's over with because it's not over with by a long stretch. You can win 11-4-1 record. That'll get you into the party. I'm not going to say the P word. Y'all know that. But until it's said and done, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say that word that everybody wants us to say. I'm not going to say it because it's just not in my vocabulary. Our defense lacks a lot of things. Speed is one of them. Sometimes I think it lacks penetration is big. Penetration. I don't see how any grown man can't lack penetration. Take that for what it's worth. But we've got a lot of work to do here. Um, Jay Gruden, big thing I thought about with Jay Gruden, I like that onside kick call. I really did. Although it didn't work, I liked it. I was upset that we couldn't recover it, but that's something we needed. He seized the moment. He was thinking about, hey, I don't think we can stop him. We need to get him up because this game is going backwards and forward. And Jay did what he did the smart thing, especially in the fourth quarter. I was talking to some folks today. They thought it was too early. I didn't think it was too early. It was right on time. Y'all wouldn't have said it was too early if he had made it. Um, but I just really don't know. Like this pressure wasn't getting there. I mean, it was sometimes I was counting one Mississippi. We were getting like 4 or 5 Mississippis on the Mississippi State quarterback and Dak Prescott. And this game is a game. It hurts. And you're gonna want to go out here against Arizona. You're gonna want to knock somebody in the mouth. I don't think Preston's on. He's been on the climb, but he turned it on towards the tail end of the season. This is where we need those guys to turn it up now. 5 games. Joe Gibbs had 5 games where he was staring at a 5-6 record in 2005. Made it happen. Same thing, similar situation, 2007. Made it happen. Mike Shanahan faced with a 3-6 record. Made it happen. It's possible. The Skins can do this. This is now the realm possible. I think is the division maybe out of hand. Possibly the way the Giants are coming on, the way the Cowboys are solidifying it. I think we want to aim for the division, but wild card is a good consolation prize. And as we've seen in recent years, it really doesn't matter if you win the division because last year all the wild card teams won in the first round, and that'll be huge going forward. I think this is something it'll make you hungrier. And the more hungry you are, the more you're going to want it, the more effort you're going to put into it. And this is what we got to do. And we can't stop anybody. So we're going to have to outscore people. And we've got to ride Kirk Cousins. He's going to play indoors on Sunday. So he should throw. He's trying to get to that 5 mark, and hopefully he can and get a win with it. Notice when he goes over 400 yards, it's a loss. It's typically a loss because he's basically had to put it on his shoulder. It was a tie also when he goes over about 400, almost 450 a game. Yeah, Parrish, yeah, I agree. Hopkins, he has been average at best, but he's our best option as kicker. And be honest with you, tell me a better kicker we've had over the recent few years. Yeah, I mean that the way the defense was playing, Mr. DCB 215, I disagree on the onside kick. Make them go the length of the field. If they do, they do. The more they are on the field, the more chances we have for a turnover. To that point, we didn't get a turnover. To that point, we did, and I see exactly where you come from. I respect that. I respect that opinion wholeheartedly, and I can see exactly where you're coming from. But point matter is, we weren't getting turnovers. We weren't really stopping them. We did get a couple of breaks in the third quarter where it was just scoreless across the board for both teams. And we weren't getting that turnover that we needed. We had that tip. Duke almost had it. I called him a dirty monkey just thinking about it when I said it. I didn't really mean that out of the bland, but it just happens. It comes off the top of my tongue. And yeah, I agree. Caleb, you're absolutely right. Norman has to show why he's worth $15 million. Fitzgerald, I don't think he'll be paired up with Fitzgerald. I think he most likely will be paired up against Floyd. And it's a big body receiver. We'll see what he does. I think he paired up against him in the NFC Championship game last year too. Yeah, he's going to have targets. He's got Odell again, and he's got Kelvin Benjamin. And you don't think Josh Norman wants that game on Monday Night Football against his former team, the team that let him go to the dogs? He wants that game. They'll be ready for that. I don't doubt that. We might get another primetime win off of that, and they would have ate up all the time. Yeah, I agree with the Herson. I agree wholeheartedly. I just don't think going back to onside kick. I don't think you got to go for it there. Gamble. Jay Gruden. This is what makes a great head coach. Sometimes it's not just necessarily game management; it's the gut decisions. And it's the unapologetic approach. And this is why I respect Jay Gruden. Not necessarily like him a lot sometimes, but I think this is what makes him a better coach than his brother. And I think through time, we'll find out that Jay Gruden, whether it is in Washington or somewhere else, he will be a better coach than John Gruden. I think he already is, just with his arena experience. You can disagree with me that I'll back that opinion up to the bank. What he's done in Washington, what he did in the Arena League, what he did as a quarterback in the Arena League, what he did for Andy Dalton in Cincinnati. I really do believe that he could possibly be an even better head coach than his brother. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Maurice Harris, he played okay too. He had some spot. I don't know why we were throwing the Ryan Grant on one of those plays. Uh, he was in double cover and just like basically collapsed on himself. Um, but yeah, even housekeeping goes and now that kind of goes in my segue from the games and everything. We know what we got to do. Couple of things. Um, we hit 200 subscribers, y'all. Thank you very much. I love you guys. I'll always tell y'all that I love you, but I really do mean it. If it's not for you, and I felt a little slighted, I'm sorry I didn't do that live stream. One, I was out of town. Two, I was under the weather, and this is really why I'm just feeling to be myself again. I lost my voice and everything, so I will be back on Sunday. We're gonna talk about the Dirty Desert Birds on Sunday. We'll be doing a live stream. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, blessed Thanksgiving with your family. And like I said, I really wanted to focus on that because yes, I come and talk about the Redskins. I love it just as much as you all do, but sometimes family comes first, and I always believe that no matter where I come from. Yeah, Grant did catch. Did he catch that in the Dallas game, or did he catch the one in against Green Bay? I don't remember that. That's how much it blew my head. Um, and then also, y'all, if you know what yesterday was, it was 9 years ago. Yesterday, Sean Taylor passed away. He succumbed to his injuries um, after a home invasion back in 2007, and I I'll tell you what, I'll never forget. I was in high school. I think yeah, it was my junior year of high school, and that'll tell you how old I am. Um, and my best friend, he came up to me, he said, "Hey," and this is on the 26th. "Hey, Sean Taylor got shot." I looked at him. I said, "Man, you're kidding me." I said, "You're fooling." Um, and he said, "No." And I'll never forget. I went into my math class. I pulled up on my cell phone. I had a little Motorola Razor, flipped that thing to the internet, and it said Washington Redskins safety Sean Taylor um, had been shot, and just the news pouring in at that time. I'll never forget. Um, I went and I talked to my mom and everything. She's a big Skins fan. Basically, where I get my and she was in tears, and we kind of knew even going home on the bus that day. I was praying more for him as a human being more than a player. And I still today I think about what this team could have been with him, because this was a man who I don't like to judge anyone in their life decisions, but Sean was a man. He was on a path to recovery. You talk Clinton Porter, Santana Moss, any of those guys. He was really becoming a man. He was a boy in a man's world, and he had finally had got on path. And this is what um it's so funny how life works sometimes. Just when you got it there, everything's going good, and then some punk comes and steals it. Um, and they thought it was somebody he was hanging out with. Michael Wilbon, Colin Cowherd, even Bram Weinstein. These guys just saying, "Oh, this is the crew that he hangs out with." This was for his sister. This guy who shot him was came to a party that he was having for his sister, was working the party, and they came back. He had already paid these people to do a service to him. And this goes on beyond football. This is Sanchez 405's philosophy on life right now. You do not be hasty to judge people. Sean Taylor, I missed it. I missed seeing that passion, that playoff run in 05, man. Him just against Philadelphia, sealing the game, intercepting Corey Detmer, taking it all the way to the house, and then did it the next week in Tampa Bay, before we succumbed to Philadelphia, to Seattle. No one ever played the game like this. We say, yeah, Ed Reed, Cam Chancellor, but this man changed the game. I honestly, and that might be my Redskin bias, but he changed the game. LaRon Landry, as far as I'm concerned, is a scrub compared to what Sean Taylor is. I think Cam Chancellor is. Earl Thomas, these guys in Seattle, they might be they're okay, but they don't hold their weight to number 21. And I'm so proud that number is retired, unofficially retired. There's only been one retired number in the history of the Skins. But, and biggest thing before I let you go, that man's daughter is growing up to be a nice young lady too. If you get a chance, go on YouTube, go on NFL.com. Look up that Sean Taylor of Football Life. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. It's just great. It's just great, informative, and this is the reason why Joe Gibbs retired, was he just, his heart was not in it anymore. And you just remember 07, after all that, Greg Williams put the 10 players on the field, and then it just, they came together after that Buffalo game, went to the playoffs, lost to Seattle, ironically, by 21 points, then won the prior game before that against Dallas by 21 points. So a lot of cool things. The NFL had a lot of stuff that day, and I still remember that today. But man, just even in life, go hug your family, man, because you don't know when this race is over with in life. And I still think about that. I'm still humbled by that, because it happened 6 days after my 17th birthday. And I still remember it today. And I'm going to let y'all go. I'll be back on Wednesday. Yeah. Landry eating equals Whitner. Nah, I don't think Whitner shot up that much like LaRon did. But I'm gonna let y'all go. I really appreciate y'all coming on here for this half an hour. I try to make it a half an hour for us to talk and chat. As always, I love you guys. I'll be talking to you real soon. St. Charles 405. I'm out. And y'all have a good one. We'll be out Warpath Wednesday. Love, peace, and hail.